When I transferred to this quiet suburban neighborhood, Whisper Pines Estates, I thought I was stepping into the kind of peaceful community I had always wanted after years of federal law enforcement overseas and stateside. The HOA here prides itself on strict adherence to community rules, beautiful lawns, freshly painted mailboxes, and an unwavering ban on commercial vehicles or trucks parked overnight in residential areas. Seems straightforward enough. The problem? My work requires me to maintain a small fleet of government-issue vehicles at home, one black armored SUV, an unmarked tactical pickup, and a utility van, all outfitted with surveillance and communications gear. These vehicles are not just tools of my trade. They are my lifeline when called to action. For months, I kept them parked discreetly in the driveway or the garage. But during a recent security upgrade at home, one vehicle ended up parked on the street overnight. The next morning, taped to my windshield was a notice from the HOA. Violation of parking restrictions. Fine. $100 per day until compliance. I knew that ignoring it could spiral into thousands of dollars, but explaining my situation was complicated. I contacted the HOA president, explaining my federal duties and the necessity of having these vehicles accessible at a moment's notice. I emphasized that my vehicles were fully licensed and non-commercial by any municipal definition. The response was cold and bureaucratic. Our rules are designed to maintain the neighborhood's character. Exceptions cannot be made, regardless of occupation. The fine notices began arriving daily. $100, $200, $300. The pressure mounted. That's when I decided to take a different approach. One afternoon, I invited the HOA board president and a few members over for coffee. I didn't reveal my identity as a federal agent immediately. Instead, I listened as they aired their concerns about big trucks and security risks in the neighborhood. When the time was right, I showed them my credentials, a federal badge, my clearance and documentation, proving the vehicles were government property, essential to national security operations. Faces went pale. The reality dawned on them. I wasn't just a resident, but someone protecting their families from threats they couldn't see. I explained the strict protocols governing these vehicles, including the measures taken to ensure community safety. I even offered to keep the vehicles in a more discreet location, if that eased concerns. By the end of the meeting, the board agreed to halt fines and amend the parking policy to allow government vehicles with proper authorization. The following week, a formal apology letter arrived, thanking me for my service and cooperation. The fines were erased. I still park my vehicles as needed, but I also make it a point to engage with neighbors regularly, helping build trust where suspicion once lurked. What started as a conflict over trucks parked on the street became a lesson in understanding and respect. Because sometimes the greatest service isn't just in enforcement, it's in connection.